I want a renaissance.
The world is a big place, with lots of different people, and many different languages. In fact, there are almost 7,000 known languages worldwide. A long time ago, the chance of meeting someone who didn't speak your language was not very likely. As time moved on, however, people started traveling further and further. People meeting others who spoke different languages became more and more frequent. Today, the chance of meeting someone who doesn't speak the same language as you is almost guaranteed. Communication between people who don't speak the same language can be very difficult, if not impossible. There are many things you can try to help get your message across, such as repetition, shouting, or even pantomime. But there's no guarantee that your message will have the intended meaning. That is where an interpreter comes in. An interpreter is a bilingual or multilingual person with special training whose job it is to ensure accurate communication between two parties who don't speak the same language. But how do you use an interpreter? The first thing you should know is the proper setup of a meeting area. When you use an interpreter, it's a good idea to position the people in a triangle, with the two speakers facing each other, and the interpreter a little off to the side. This setup ensures direct line of sight between you and the other speaker. That way, you can speak directly to the other person. Which brings us to the next point when using an interpreter. Always speak directly to the other person, not the interpreter. For instance, avoid using statements directed to the interpreter, such as, ask my client to, tell him to remember to, find out from her if, and so on. Instead, address these statements directly to the other person. The interpreter will then interpret your dialogue segment as if you were speaking. Another point to remember when using an interpreter is to keep your dialogue segments fairly short, usually 1 or 2 sentences at a time. This way, you will not overload the interpreter with too much information at once. Finally, don't ask the interpreter for comments or opinions on matters that you are trying to discern from the other speaker. An interpreter's job is limited to taking your message and delivering it as accurately as possible to the other person. They must keep their opinions to themselves and refrain from meddling with your conversation. That's it. So let's quickly run through them again. Number 1. Position the people in a triangle. Number 2. Speak directly to your client. Number 3. Keep your dialogue segments to 1 or 2 sentences at a time. And finally, number 4. Don't ask the interpreter for their comments or suggestions. If you follow these guidelines, you will find that using an interpreter will greatly improve communication between you and anyone who doesn't speak the same language. For more information on using an interpreter or to book an interpreter, please contact Interpreting New Zealand by phoning 04-384-2849 or email info@interpret.org.nz or visit our website at www.interpret.org.nz. Thank you.